Are you considering a hair system but you're completely baffled by the price differences? You jump online, one supplier's charging $250, one salon's charging $1,000, and then there's that sketchy site like Temu who's offering toupees for $99. So what's the difference? Why do prices vary so much? And what are you actually paying for? In this video, we're going to be looking at why hair system pricing is the way it is so that you can make an informed decision about your hair and your wallet. Most guys are quite surprised when they get informed of how much a hair system costs. They usually, as a first point of call, go to a salon, they get it fitted, they get a quote, and their jaw drops to the ground. Don't worry guys, I was in that situation myself. And then about 6 months into my journey, I started looking online at hair systems. And there was such a massive price differential, and I was like, how can there be such a huge difference? So basically what I'm trying to say here is that with salons, you're paying for a combination of product, expertise, and for many people, convenience. They've also got higher overheads, they've got staff that they need to pay, rent on the property, utilities, and of course they build that into their pricing. On top of that, salons include installation, regular rebonds, and regrooms. That of course keep the system looking super fresh, but it adds to the overall longer term costs. So remember, when you're comparing a quote that you get from a salon with a quote that you get from a company online, you're not comparing apples to apples. One's a full service, the other one is a product that you manage yourself. Obviously, you pay a stylist to cut it in for you, but everything else you do yourself. Now, if you're focusing just on the hairpiece itself, and anyone who orders online like I do, you will be well aware of this. There's certain bases that are more expensive than other bases. There's certain types of hair that are more expensive than other types of hair. And I'm going to tell you why these prices vary. So the first question you may have is, why is lace more expensive than poly? The answer is quite simple really. Every single knot in that lace base is hand tied. It requires time and skill and expertise, and that drives up the cost. Polys, on the other hand, are way quicker to produce, and they're far less time consuming for the experts who are making these systems. So if you see a lace base priced higher than a poly base, this is why. It's more labor intensive, it's more hours, it requires more expertise. Remember that process of ventilating each strand by hand. That's literally thousands of knots tied one by one. And actually, when you think about it, it's actually a miracle that lace bases aren't even more expensive than what they already are. Now we're going to look at the hair itself. I'd say the most common hair you find in the hair system industry is Indian Remy hair, and it's really good. This is Indian Remy hair. A huge majority of the systems that I wear, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I have Remy hair. Why? Because it's durable, it holds texture well, and when processed properly, it looks great. But if you're looking to go better than Remy hair, you're going to need to pay more. So European version hair is one which is becoming ever more increasingly popular just because there's more of it available. It's not processed, there's finer strands, the cuticles are intact, and it gives a much more natural flow. The hair lands more naturally. And even though it is becoming more popular, it is still moderately rare. LaVivid do sell some systems which contain European hair. Yes, it's a bit more pricey, but the colors are more limited because it's not processed, it's not dyed at all. So you really are paying for a premium product. Remember, anything that you see aside from that European version hair is processed, is put in acid baths, and that's why quite often after a couple of months, you may start to notice some gingery undertones. You do not get that with European version hair, so they last longer. So when you're comparing hair systems, don't just look at the price. Look at what kind of hair you're paying for and what kind of hair you want. Personally, in my opinion, Remy hair, Indian Remy hair, is absolutely fine for pretty much everyone. A majority of LaVivid's hair systems are Remy hair. Always make sure that you check in the description box beneath each system. There's usually a spec which basically tells you what type of hair it is, the density, that kind of thing. It's always worth checking. Now let's talk about price differentials once you've got the system. Now if you're going through a salon, you're going to be looking at needing to get rebonds or regrooms as they call them at the longest once a month. So that could set you back usually over $100 every 4 weeks. Now, in many ways, it's great. They provide all of the accessories, the glues, the tapes, they do everything for you. It comes at a cost to your wallet. And some people like that and they're fine with that, and that's cool. It has to work around your lifestyle. If you can afford it and it's not straining you in any way financially and you just want it to be easy, that can be a really good route for you. If, like me, you're looking at that money and thinking, you know what, that could get me a really nice holiday in Cyprus, and I'd rather spend that money there. Learning to do the maintenance yourself and ordering the systems yourself is the best way forward for you.